That's on Thursday. But we got a good show here today, fellas. We're going to go wall to wall with you, John.
Got to do that.
Not on your block, Robin Lopez, some of the best shot blocks.
I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
Yeah, I've been here one time.
Okay, I'm glad you remember.
Yeah.
We got one in.
Okay,
And a really special guest, an NBA Hall of Famer and a member of the 75th anniversary team, Dave Bing, is going to join us on the association. So please stay tuned for our hangout with Dave. But we got to get right to it, guys, because deals they've been coming fast and furious throughout this week. And a major one on Wednesday. AD from Big D to DC. Anthony Davis, now a member of the Washington Wizards in a massive deal that sends AD, D'Angelo Russell, Jaden Hardy, and Dante Exum to the Wizards in exchange. The Mavericks get Chris Middleton, who's a pending UFA. A.J. Johnson was a 23rd pick in the 2024 draft. Malachi Branham, 20th overall in 2022. Marvin Bagley. But here's the future haul that Mavericks fans will focus on. 2 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. But after Anthony Davis got hurt, I think most assume that a Davis trade would come after this year because you don't know what he's going to provide this year. But if we're talking about Wizards basketball, John, well, I got to come straight to you. When this notification hit your phone that Anthony Davis was joining the Wizards and Trae Young and that young squad, your first thought was what?
Super excited. Super excited for them. Just knowing they're trying to get back to a winning culture, try to bring some excitement back there, get to the playoffs again. And you started off by getting a great guy in Trae Young, a good superstar guard. Then you go get a center that's AD, that's another guy that knows how to play, won a championship before. With the young core you have, I think it's a great tandem to go where they're going and to give opportunity for Alex Sarr to play the 4, which I think he will excel and be even better at.
So, yeah, Rolo, you give us that frontline perspective, that pairing of an healthy AD, knock on wood, that's the hope for the Wizards, and Alex Sarr, who's one of 3 rising stars that the Wizards have this year.
Yeah, it's interesting because Anthony Davis, he was a little reluctant to play that center position early in his career. But you see, as the league has changed, his game has changed. He's kind of grown into that 5 role. So it's going to be wonderful for Sarr. It's going to be wonderful for AD. And I love the pairing of AD and Trae Young. You got that perfect lob target that Trae loves throwing to so.
So now that you have like 2 established stars, and again, the Wizards are now prepping for next year to get Trae Young fully integrated, Anthony Davis fully healthy and integrated. So, but John, there also is that balance of wanting to let those 2 guys cook, given what their resumes say, but also Sarr, Keyshawn George, Trae Johnson, Bilal, and the list goes on of young guys whose development you don't want to stunt. Do you feel like these moves are safe in that regard, that those 3 guys will still be able to blossom?
I think it's a great opportunity. I think the most important thing I said through the whole process, even before getting AD, you want Trae Young to play at least 10 games. All home games, though, no road games. Play 10 home games after the All-Star break to see what you have, see how it works, and see if AD can maybe get out there for 5 games now since he's there, just to see, okay, we do get a top 4, top 5 draft pick. Who do we think fits with the young core? I think the most important thing, the young core is learning how to play with the basketball and without the basketball, but they also are learning how to win, play the right way. But the most important thing for them, and I always say, is building a culture and find out what your identity is. And with this pick, it seems like their identity is going to be get up and run down the court, shoot a lot of threes, but most important, protect the paint, because you got 2 shot blockers that can do that for them.
Yeah.
And it's not just those 3 rising stars. Keyshawn George was quick to tell us when we talked with him last week. You also got Bilal Coulibaly, Bub Carrington, and other guys in the Wiz. So the Wizards clearly kind of seeing the time to kind of jumpstart this transition from rebuild to now, okay, we're actually just building toward contention. Now from the Dallas side, obviously there's a lot of emotion involved because Anthony Davis is tied to the Luka Doncic trade forever. And that is always going to make Mavericks fans feel some type of way. That just comes with the territory. But if you put the emotion and that pride aside and just look at this deal for what it does, setting the Mavericks up for the next era of Mavericks basketball, and that is building around Cooper Flagg, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put that aside. Yeah. Say, this start is Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
And this is where we are now. It's kind of difficult to swallow. Yeah. Putting that aside, Cooper Flagg is coming along immensely, so there's a lot to be excited with there. And we don't know what's going to happen with Kyrie. Kyrie's coming back next year, so Kyrie and Coop together, that could be something.
And that's where I was going to go with you, John.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving and his fit in all this. Some people are assuming, okay, well, they get rid of AD and they're shedding money and creating all this space in terms of their luxury tax, the payroll, and their roster. Maybe Kyrie's next, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. How would you see it?
I think it's very interesting. I think right now, early on, a lot of criticism was given to Jason Kidd for putting Cooper Flag at point guard. But people forget he did the same thing with Giannis in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And look how it planned out. And like you said, Cooper Flag figured out how to play. And I think the most important role coming in is playing the point guard. It's like playing quarterback in the field. It's the hardest position to learn. You got to know when to get yours or get other people their shots. Cooper Flag is blossoming, showing what he can really do. But most importantly is you don't have to rush with Kyrie Irving. Unless he come out and say he want to trade now to go to a contender, he probably can sit back and be like, I can rehab the rest of this year, see what we do, what do we fall in the draft, who can we get in free agency, and I can come back next year. But it's really all up to him and what they really want going. But I think having Najee Marshall, those guys, you got to figure out what you're going to do with Daniel Gafford. And they're liable to get back healthy. What can you do with those pieces? Klay Thompson is another piece that comes in and might fit in.
And to give Mavericks fans the full picture, the 2 first-round picks. One is a 2026 first rounder, but it belongs to the Thunder. So it's going to be at the back end of that first round, presumably. And then a protected pick in 2030 of the Golden State Warriors. The second rounders, Phoenix this year, the Bulls next year, and Houston in 2029. So that is the full deal. But Anthony Davis going to D.C. So that was kind of what shook the earth in the NBA on Wednesday. A 10-time All-Star being on the move. That was on the heels of the 11-time All-Star James Harden getting moved on Tuesday, and so who knows what Thursday is going to bring for the trade deadline. But that wasn't the only deal that we saw early today getting ready for this show. One that was especially interesting, and some might say in Philly, head-scratching, is Jared McCain is on the move from Philadelphia going to Oklahoma City. So Jared McCain, who is just 21 years old, the 16th overall pick in the 2024 draft, goes to the reigning champions. In exchange, the Sixers get the Rockets' 2026 first-round pick and then 3 second-round picks. John, what do you make of this move for the Oklahoma City Thunder, first and foremost?
Love it for them because they're dealing with a lot of injuries. They're trying to be another team that can go back-to-back. But most important, they're looking at we need another shooter, another guy that can make shots and put the ball on the floor for us. And you get that with Jared McCain. I think a lot of people forget last year, he was the front runner for Rookie of the Year before he got hurt, before he tore his meniscus. So you know how talented he is, how gifted he is. I just think with VJ Edgecombe coming, Kelly Oubre is getting better. You sign Quentin Grimes back, and not a lot of minutes for him in Philly.
Right.
So I think he's happy that now I might have an opportunity to play. But also people forget OKC got a lot of guys that's on contract extensions that they can't be able to keep next year. Jared McCain's got 2 more years on his rookie deal after this, so this is a good move for them.
It's like that second draft. You see that sometimes teams make a move for a guy who's already been in the league, has some pro experience, hasn't quite taken off yet, and maybe they get him in a spot where he can do that. But you're right, John. It wasn't that long ago. It was just last year where he was at the top of the rookie rankings. Then he gets hurt. He still finished 7th, and he only played 23 games.
Yeah.
That's how impactful he was in the early going. And for Philly, you can see what John is talking about, Rolo, the positional redundancy in terms of that backcourt got crowded quick. But it just still feels odd given what we have in our recent memory from McCain.
It will, yeah, and I think it's gonna sting a little bit for McCain. I know he does have to be excited because every player, they want to be out there on the floor. He's gonna use it as motivation. I think he's gonna go there. He's gonna thrive. And Philly, I mean, this came about because Philly had too much. They had too much of a good thing.
Rolo, I know we're locking in on baseball, and there's kind of this adage of hey, you don't want to trade with the Tampa Bay Rays, or you don't want to deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. In a basketball perspective, John, it's like you don't want to trade with Sam Preston, Oklahoma City, because after you agree to it, you're going to be looking around like, wait, did I just get fleeced? So what just happened here? You know what I mean? Like he's incredible at his job, and it seems like he did it again.
Well, the great thing with OKC that makes them so special is they have all the draft picks. So we got what everybody wants. Like this year, if you don't get one of those top guys in the draft, you might look at next year or the next year after that. So you want those picks that can help you down the road. So OKC, they got the leverage to go get whatever they want at any time because of what Sam Preston has done in the past.
Yeah.
We traded, we drafted some of the good guys, but we still have a lot of picks that we can move around.
Do you guys have a lean either way from the Philly standpoint? Because, look, they've won 5 in a row, the last 3 in the wake of the Paul George suspension. And it's one of those teams where if everybody's healthy and things are clicking, they can be scary. So if you can make the decision to move off Jared McCain if you want, but they get nothing to help them here and now.
To me, that's not something they're going to regret. I've seen Philly, the way they're playing, that's a potential finals team to me.
Really?
Yeah, with Tyrese, the way Joel is playing, yeah.
Yeah, I think the way the East is open right now, we don't have a clear-cut favorite. You know what I mean? You either going to say the Pistons or the Knicks was your clear-cut favorites out of that, but Boston's a team that's in the mix that nobody expected to be good, and they made a great trade for themselves. But most importantly, it's like if Joel Embiid can be healthy and he's showing like what he's averaging, 30 or more the last times he's been playing, if he can continue to get better and continue to play heavier, more minutes, they are a team to be reckoned with in the East, so they're not missing Jared McCain. I don't think will hurt them this year.
So McCain was a bit of a surprise name, certainly not a name that was at the forefront of folks' minds getting ready for the Thursday deadline. There was a backcourt member whose name we were hearing a ton, and that was Coby White of the Chicago Bulls. And the Bulls have been wildly active to end last weekend and obviously through this week so far. And Coby White is the latest Bull to be on the move. White, along with Mike Conley Jr., and the Bulls just acquired in another three-team swap with Minnesota, part of basically another de facto three-team swap with Chicago, Charlotte, and Oklahoma City. So White and Conley go to the Hornets. The Bulls get Colin Sexton and Osam Jang and 3 second-round picks. And for Oklahoma City, for their role in this, they're getting Mason Plumlee, a veteran big man who, of course, is a pending UFA playing on a 1-year veteran minimum. But Coby White is the headliner for this trade, John. But I don't think it's surprised to see him get moved. How much of a surprise is it to you that it's to the Hornets?
Well, for one, he's back home. He's not too far from being back home, so he's probably excited about that. But I thought he was going to go to a team that was a legit contender right now. And I think a lot of people forget what Minnesota did moving Mike Conley. He could have came back in that trade, but they didn't want him because they want to keep the cap space to try to get Giannis. So I think Charlotte, I mean, that's a team that nobody expected. They're a team that could try to get into the play-in. But it's going to be interesting what you do because he's been a starter a lot with Chicago Bulls. Now, are you going to be willing to come off the bench and play that 6-man role because we have LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Con Kempo? We don't need
like you said, for a team that's not necessarily contending right now.
We don't need a starting spot for you right now. So will you accept the role of being a 6-man? But most importantly, he's probably happy to be back home, but he probably thought he was going to a contender.
No, it's just that it's a kind of a perplexing trade all around. You know, Chicago, I guess they're just kind of trying to accumulate players and see who works out for them. Charlotte got some redundant pieces. It's, you know.
Well, they got 20 guards now?
Yeah, they do. I think so. That's right.
It's crazy. It is true.
It's like you get 20 point guards, but you have Josh Giddey, who you just paid, which is playing well.
And you know he's been working for you.
Could have been an all-star this year. But then you also forget they got Anthony Simons, too.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, what do you got going on? So we have to wait and see if the Bulls make some more moves before tomorrow night.
It seems like they would have to sort of really wrap your head around their activity because, again, they're just trying to pick a direction. It's you're moving these pieces that you have, but then the people you're getting back, it's leading to more questions like, hey, what's going on? But for the Hornets, so they've obviously won 7 in a row, knocking on the doorstep of the play-in. They're 1 game back of the Chicago Bulls, and the way Chicago is moving, it seems like they're content to drop out of that play.
That spot.
So this is a move for, okay, White, maybe you get him in the building, gives you a better shot at bringing him back in the offseason, given that those North Carolina roots you were talking about. How much of a spoiler can the Hornets actually be? Like, is there any team that's in the top 6 in the Eastern Conference right now that you think the Hornets could knock off? John, you're nodding your head.
For sure. They're a team that got a young core, that 3 guys that can shoot the ball.
Shooting. They have shooting.
They all 3 can make plays also. But at the same time, you got a guy like Musa that's been playing well for them at the center.
Ever since they inserted him.
Sending that guy from Creighton. But they're just a young team that's exciting. They got a lot of joy with them. LaMelo brings a lot of flash. The most important thing everybody's always asking, can you get LaMelo to play basketball the right way? Right now, they're a 7-game winning streak. They must be doing something right. But with that young core, you thought about, are you going to move LaMelo before the season started or while the season was going on to now? Oh, Miles Bridges might be gone. No, we might keep this core together to see if we can get into the play-in and maybe get some free agents in the offseason.
Rollo, from the player's perspective, the locker room perspective, that as Catino, as Cat would say on this couch, like getting the frequency right with a young team like this, talent's never been a question, but now they're building confidence. Now they're building momentum, and everybody does seem to be on the same page with this Hornets team. How powerful can that actually be?
Oh, it can be incredibly powerful. Because just like John said, things for them at the beginning of the season, it was looking very different from where they are at this point. So now they have a little bit of experience. Now they have a taste of what that, that success of playing good basketball is like. They have an idea of this is what we need to be doing. And sometimes that's what you need. Like today, this is such a stupid example.
I'm in.
I've been taking flying lessons while I've been down here.
Flying what, planes?
Planes, yeah.
Yeah, good luck. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. You tell us how that goes.
I've been working on landings.
Yeah,
I'm working
that's
on
an
doing
important
landing
part.
work. Yes,
The old
very
flying
important
deal.
part.
Yes.
But like I was trying to figure out exactly. They tell you, you keep the runway. It's approaching, and I couldn't quite figure it out. But once I had the feeling of what a good landing was, now I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know what I'm doing. I see where I'm going with it. I know what I need to tweak, what I need to be doing right to have that same feeling over and over again. And that's what I think the Hornets right now, they kind of have going on. They're on that 7-game winning streak. They've been playing good basketball for like 15, 20 games now. They have an idea of what playing good basketball is.
Yeah. And they want to continue that.
Yep, and they got the pilot and head coach Charles Lee, head coach of the month in the Eastern Conference for the very first time in his young coaching career. We talked about Oklahoma City. Yep, played a factor on that, getting Mason Plumlee, but more notably is Jared McCain. And John, you referenced all the injuries that they have had throughout the year. One player who's been healthy up to this point was the reigning MVP in SGA. That has changed as the report is now that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be out with an abdominal strain at least through the All-Star break. So you lose SGA for a couple of weeks. Now OKC, first team to 40 wins, best record in the NBA. The first time you'll be able to see them on the court after the break is February 20th. This may not seem like a big deal because the reigning champs are the reigning champs. They got depth, but he is the straw that stirs the drink.
I think it's a big deal, though, just because Jalen Williams is out and A.J. Mitchell. Those are the other two guys that's their ball handlers that they use if SGA did go out. So I think it's a little bit of wear, but it's like we know we haven't been healthy all year. And most important, abdominal strain is something you can't mess with. It's like a serious injury you can rehab and you can tweak it right back again. So they're doing the right thing to be precautious about it, but you probably wouldn't have this scare if Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell was playing healthy, but those two guys are out. So who do we look for to be our primary ball handler? That's the question I can't wait to see for OKC with the 5 games he's out until All-Star break.
Right, and we're going to at least start to get that answer on Wednesday. Everyone was looking forward to that heavyweight clash in the West with the Thunder and the Spurs, their 5th and final regular season meeting between those two teams, but no SGA, and basically I don't know who's going to play for the Thunder.
It felt like, you know how many times we talked about the San Antonio Spurs? Okay,
it felt
like they in the playoff series. Like they already had a playoff series in the first half of the season, but it's been great matchups.
It's been unbelievable.
It's been amazing. That's a series I would love to see in the playoffs. I mean, that's the one OKC probably want to see later. But I think that would be a great series. But it's going to be interesting to see what they put out there on the floor tonight.
Because Rolo, it's SGA, Caruso, A.J. Mitchell, Lou Dort, Hartenstein, Chet. It's a whole roster.
So they first 10 basically out.
They kind of just, I think.
Jared McCain, how fast can you get?
They're trying to get the physical done now.
Yes, trying truthfully. So it does take a little bit of the luster off that matchup, but. Well, when certain guys aren't playing, other guys will. So an opportunity, and that's actually, if I'm trying to spin it a little bit, another test of the rivalry there is that like no matter who's on the floor, there's some juice to that game. I'm going to be looking out for that tonight too.
Yeah, perhaps. And what's been great about the Thunder, they're like the Celtics, they're like the Spurs. They have those systems where they have those system players that those identities, those personalities that match the team.
Yep.
So you insert whoever you need to into the lineup, and you're going to get similar results. Yeah. Like I remember playing against the Spurs back, 10 years ago with Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and everybody. Pop would sit Manu, they'd sit TD, they'd sit Tony Parker, and you'd be playing against their second or third string. They'd still come in the building.
Get a win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's one of the games that we're looking forward to. Another one we kind of had circled for different reasons is the final game of the night in Inglewood. The Clippers hosting the Cavs. Cleveland and Los Angeles just linked up for a bit of a trade. James Harden going to the land, Darius Garland coming to Los Angeles along with a second-round pick from Cleveland. And So I would be remiss if I didn't ask you guys, Robin Lopez and John Wall. We got big and a guard combo here. Your thoughts on Harden's fit next to Spida with Mobley and Allen? We'll start with you, John, as you see Harden changing uniforms yet again.
I think it's interesting. You know, most important, like James makes everybody around him better. Pick and roll. He's gonna get Jared Allen and Mobley right here. Let's get to the gym. Let's get this pick and roll down pat. You look how he improved with Zubac and doing those things. He also gave him a guy that can run the team, can score the ball late in the shot clock. Most important for me, and everybody going to say this, is how are him and Spida going to react. That's how I want to see how they play together. Because Spida's ball dominant and James is ball dominant. I just want to see how it's going to work out. Those two guys that can score the ball at a high level clip. You know what I mean? If James get tired or need to get out the basketball, Spida can do that. But I want to see how well those two bigs
coexist.
Yeah, can they coexist very well together? I got to see it.
Rolo, were you, I know you watch Clippers basketball, perhaps for a different reason, a familial one.
Maybe, perhaps.
Maybe a twin or so over there.
Yeah, Zoo, right?
Hold on. Did you feel a disturbance in that Twins force when before this trade was announced or as it was announced?
I did, because they didn't get rid of him. The Clippers had a great chance to get off of Brook Lopez, and they didn't take advantage of it.
Where they was going to send him?
Oh, I don't know, China?
Stop it. But give me your standpoint as a big, like putting yourself in the same shoes as Mobley and Allen, because I think that if you're to look at this trade glass half full, in conjunction with the other moves of getting Keon Ellis 3 and D and Dennis Schroeder, a veteran backup, the glass half full view, Rolo, has been, oh, well, having Spida and Harden, that could unlock Jared Allen and Evan Mobley at a level we haven't seen yet. Would you take that same view?
So I play with DG, and I wish he could stay on the floor.
Yes.
Wish he could stay on the floor. That was the first thought I had. So I hope, with the Clippers, he can be out there for them. With James Harden, if I was a big man out there, I'd be salivating. I remember when I played with Steve Nash, that taught me to run around the floor when we were on offense just with my hands up all the time.
Better.
And that's what J.A. and Evan, they're going to have to do with James Harden out there, because they're going to have so many opportunities playing with him.
And I think we're going to jump into a live look here, but as we transition into that, John, the fact that we have seen Donovan Mitchell have to be a do-it-all playmaker because Darius Garland has been out so much this year. Could that be another benefit of this trade, is that he can exhale a little bit? He doesn't have to carry the weight of the world from a scoring standpoint now that Harden is here?
I think so. I think that's the most important thing. But me, and the only thing is, Donovan Mitchell has every tool in the book, score the ball with the best of them in the league. Keep that same playmaking ability going even when James get there. Like, don't even have to feel like you have to score the ball every time you touch it. Continue to be aggressive like you always have, but also continue to make the right plays. Because when you make the right plays, it helps your other teammates feel comfortable. And when you need them in the fourth quarter, when teams get the blitzing and trapping you, those guys are used to getting open shots. This is not their first time getting a shot later in the game. So I would say continue doing the same playmaking you did, even when James Harden get there.
Yeah, we're all itching to see it, how they coexist. We're not going to see it tonight. James Harden's not going to play against the Clippers on this Wednesday, and Evan Mobley is still out with